All right, y'all. Welcome to Hey, What Did I Miss? It's your boy, Coach Cam. Before we do anything, appreciate everybody who's been following so far. When you get a chance, please like, subscribe on the videos. Really appreciate it, your time. Today, I got a special guest. Today, we got a 12-year basketball coach in the Division II level, a recent father, and of course, a brother of mine, my man, Rob Isme. Rob, man, welcome to the cast, the show. I don't even know what I'm calling this, Let's talk a little junk,
Nah, man, I appreciate you having me on. It's a pleasure. It's been different the past few days, past few weeks with a newborn, but it's all beautiful, man. Thank you for having me.
Dope, man. Congratulations on that. All right. So I hit you up. We hit each other up, man. I'm going to have a little disclaimer real quick. All right. By the time this video comes out, all the standings can be switched around and everything. Okay. So
it's true.
So people be patient with me. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with me. Show love. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right into it. Our first matchup as of right now is we got the 76ers who were in first place. They're going to play the winner of the 9-10 game and the loser 7-8 game. So what we're going to do is let's just run through Eastern Conference 1 through 10 because we don't know how that's going to size up.
I think Philly's definitely strong. I think the addition of Doc Rivers helped. He got some shooters. I think they were lacking some shooters the past few years. But we got to see. I mean, it always in the playoff, it always comes down who got the dogs. I'm not sure if Philly got the dogs to get it done. They're tough. They're going to be a tough out. But do they have the dogs to make that hump to get to the championship game?
Yeah, I agree. I like the addition of Doc. It's definitely a culture change. He's infused in Embiid and Ben Simmons some much needed confidence and self-awareness.
Sure.
And I'm also happy that, he didn't get there and trade Tobias again. Long Island's finest. You know what I'm saying?
He's doing well, man. He's doing really well,
man. And Danny as well. Two Long Island guys doing well, playing well for Doc. So hopefully, their shooting's enough. But I agree with you, man. Let's see if they got the dogs down the stretch. And let's see if they can stay healthy. Embiid is 1 Euro step away from blowing his knee out, I think. So you know what I'm saying? Seriously. So all right, man. Let's see. In the number 2 side, I don't even have to hit the button, man. The Nets. The Nets, man. What's up? Talk to me about the Nets.
To me, it's all about if they're healthy. If James Harden is healthy, KD and Kyrie healthy, I don't see someone stopping them in the East. Without James Harden, they've been struggling, which is crazy to say. You get KD back, you got a healthy Kyrie, but James Harden ain't here, and you're struggling, which shows they need James Harden.
Well, yeah. Listen, when Kyrie came out was like, all right, James, you the point guard, I'm the shooting guard. I mean, for him to take ownership of that and know the type of style he has, and
that's big.
That's big. Especially we both coach, so that's big for somebody to say, okay, I'm okay and secure in my position. And the James Harden effect is real. Everybody, there's some people who feel that he was just putting up numbers and doing whatever he do, but James Harden could hoop. Like if you average 12 assists, that means you like to pass the ball.
Yes.
So, and he looked like he was all right for, only taking 12, 15 shots and giving it to KD and whatnot, letting them work is good. It's just a matter of health, man. That hamstring, you know what I'm saying? Too many dropping it lows down in Atlanta. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say too much. But too many dropping it lows in Atlanta. I'll never question that man's work ethic. I know he works, but sometimes you gotta go to bed. It's all right to go to bed at 10:30.
I mean, supposedly he's supposed to be coming back tomorrow. Supposedly, so we'll see.
Okay, all right, we'll see. We'll see. So, but I think at fully healthy, at full strength, a lot of the guys accepted their role. My only issue is I've never seen that whole crew within 5 points. 2 minutes left, within 5 points. We know KD's supposed to get the ball, but do they know KD's supposed to get the ball?
But not even that. They haven't even played together.
Right.
This entire season.
I think it's only been about 7 games that they played together.
Yeah. So
we'll see what happens.
That's going to be a test within itself.
Right. But I would say that with all the multiple lineups, I'll say Steve Nash has done, a pretty good job, getting other guys going and blending other guys.
I agree.
So we'll see what happens.
I mean, they got Jeff Green going. They got him playing like a center. And he's only like 6'2". Something Brown.
Yeah. Bobby Brown, something like that. Bobby Brown.
Something, you know.
Yeah.
So like he's got it going. It's just a matter of are they gonna be healthy?
Right. All right.
So,
let's see. Next up, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks. Mike Budenholzer on the hot seat. You know, they paid that man. They built all that stuff around Giannis. You know, give him all the pieces. I've noticed this year that Budenholzer has switched up his offense just a little bit, you know, have some more continuity in it, which is great, which is what they needed because, you know, sets don't work in the playoffs. You need to have a little bit more, you know, free flowing and leaving it up to the players. So what are your thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks?
I think the best thing they did in the offseason was get Drew Holiday. Mm-hmm. The best thing, because he's a gamer. He's not afraid of the moment. He can make big shots. I think last year when they lost to Miami in semifinals is because they didn't have a point guard who can hit the big shot. George Hill just wasn't that guy. Mm-hmm. I think adding Drew Holiday, who's a little bigger, who's tougher, who can scrap, and not afraid of that moment, I think it's going to help them in this series. I'm a Miami guy, no question.
We get to them. Don't do that yet. We get to them.
But when it comes to Milwaukee, Drew Holiday is going to be their X factor. If he can make shots and defend other teams' best guards and let Giannis do his thing down low, they got a shot. But that second round matchup potentially with them and Brooklyn,
that's going to be a goodie potentially, yo. Man, I think that those two games that Milwaukee played Brooklyn, Giannis showed me something. You know, we talked his questions about his one-on-one defense, and he looked pretty good to me. He's the only one who could block KD's shot.
Word.
I'm not saying
that's word.
I'll say he's the only one who can block KD's shot, and I'm not gonna say he's gonna do it all the time, but I will say that he will put in the effort. I love the signing of PJ Tucker because it just adds another dog in the mix who's gonna defend, who's gonna hit the three. I think they're still working on that chemistry a little bit to trust, but to throw out the PJ.
You said a key piece of that. You added another dog.
Another dog. Because PJ going to
a dog. Yes. You know? And he's not going back down.
And then Chris Middleton's plays picked up. You know, he's a bucket. You know, 6'8" shoot guard, small forward. He can shoot over the top. Mid-range game. I love the mid-range. So, you know, he sinks to my heart every time he shoot the rock.
Yes. Darian Hooker. Mid-range game. We already know.
You know. So but definitely they're gonna be a tough out. Giannis told them, if I sign this, you're gonna have to, you know, pay people to, you know, build a team around me. And I'll give the GM credit. They did what they needed to do. They kept their promise. So now
they did.
You know, let's hopefully they stay healthy, put it together, make it look good. Okay.
But if they don't make it to at least the conference finals, goodbye head coach.
Yeah, Budenholzer is out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got the New York Knicks. That's it.
Yo,
that's it.
Hey, I'm gonna say this.
Knicks, baby.
I'm obviously, you know, I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'm not a Knicks hater. Mm-hmm. I think the NBA needs the Knicks to do well,
right?
Because it's a different market. It's a different beast in New York. Right. I think it's good to see them doing well. It's good to see Julius Randle doing well. It's good to see D Rose come off the bench and doing well. Like their key role players are doing well. I mean, it's exciting to see the Knicks.
Yeah,
everybody was a little skeptical because they had like 45 different power forwards in the team, but it seems like it's starting to work. And they got a coach who's making them play defense and holding them accountable.
Yes. Accountable is the word. Well, it's a change in culture. You know, that excited me. You know, I would have been okay, you know, not the playoffs, whatever, because we're building, whatever. But Tom Thibodeau brings culture. And that's what the Knicks desperately needed for 45 million years. This is something we've been missing, an identity, something to hang our hat on. It seems like Tibbs is like, listen, if you play D, you could play. And then you could swing the ball on the other end, make shots, do whatever you do. But if you don't play D, I'm taking you out. And guess what? I mean, as a player, I can appreciate that. Oh, all I got to do is play hard, and I'm going to get the shots I want. Oh, I'm out of here. And then
I'm going to play hard.
Play hard, right? And Julius Randle, God rest his soul, he's taking the advice of Kobe. You know, he talks about Kobe a lot, and you can see the maturation in his game. You know, he's really figuring himself out. You know, I remember he was a straight bull from Kentucky all the way through until he really figured it out and taking the time in his game. Now he's a straight killer. RJ Barrett, I love his shot making now. You know, he was a little, you know, I was a little upset about it. You know, we didn't get a shot or Zion.
He was real stiff.
I used to call him the power forward shooting guard. He had he didn't have a Euro step. He had a North American Canadian step. You know what I'm saying? The Ontario boogie or whatever you want to call it. But guess what? It's working now. And I didn't realize how, you know what? Much respect to him. I didn't realize how strong he was. He plays very strong, you know, and now he's knocking down that outside shot and everything seems to be working out for him. Shout out Derrick Rose coming off the bench, accepting his role, giving buckets, you know. And it's nice, to watch the Knicks on national TV again. It feels weird. You know, they were playing good. It feels good. They was playing the Clippers the other day, and I felt kind of weird. Like, why? What's going on here? It's not MSG. They didn't do that big drop off after the All-Star game like everyone was expecting. You know, I expect big things for them. I expect them to move forward through the playoffs to see what happens. You know, you never know. Next up, we got the Atlanta Hawks. I think the Atlanta Hawks and the Knicks may flip-flop depending on what's going on, but definitely Nate McMillan has got them boys playing.
For sure.
I mean, they were another coach who don't play that. You know, he gets it together. Every team he's been on, he's been successful. They've been in the playoffs.
Don't get enough credit.
He doesn't get enough credit at all. So what do you think about the Atlanta Hawks, man?
I mean, I like them. I think they've been solid. I think to start the year early off, people like Atlanta Hawks, you know, you sign all these people and you just like, where were you? And I think they finally figured it out and they got it rolling. I think that's going to be a great matchup, the Knicks and the Hawks. They're both young teams, strong-minded coaches who are all about defense. That's going to be a dogfight. I mean, I won't be surprised if that goes 6-7. I'm almost expecting it to go 6-7 to make it interesting to see going down in the Garden, last shot, team with the ball last is going to win the game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a good series. I think I still got the Knicks winning it, but we'll see.
I anticipate a good series. The Knicks gonna win. It's not, the Knicks gonna win it. I mean, I'm not supposed to be a homer on my own thing, but guess the Knicks
all right.
win.
It's okay. It's okay.
But listen, man, Trae Young, he's figured it out in the league. Nate McMillan's definitely figured out that rotation. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched Atlanta enough to really know what's going on because they had the super bomb squad, and then people got injured and COVID and all those other things. And the last memory I have is Bogdanovic getting hit in the face with the ball. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? But then I look at the record and I'm like, okay, they're there, they're doing their thing. I trust, you know what? I trust Nate McMillan. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Bar none. I know they got the talent and I trust Nate McMillan. So let's see what happens. Yeah. Knicks in 6. Anyway, so okay. Next up, I'm gonna open the floor to you. I have my own take on them. I'll open the floor to you. Next up, Miami Heat. You go ahead. I'm gonna let you eat. Go ahead.
I'm a Heat guy through and through. I'm a Miami everything guy. I think the problem or the issue that they've had all season is healthy. Mm-hmm. They haven't been healthy. I mean, Jimmy's been out for some time. The Dragon's been out for some time. Hero's been out for some time. Then you make a great trade, and we get Oladipo. 3 games in, he hurt. Mm-hmm. I think if Oladipo was healthy, I don't think he's coming back. If he was healthy, I would take them over the Bucks. I think because they improved from last year with Oladipo if he's healthy. Mm-hmm. Not having Oladipo, they're gonna still be a tough 6 because they dogs. Jimmy's not gonna give in. They may be able to squeeze it out against the Bucks, but I don't know if they can get past potentially the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
But Oladipo, I mean, if he was healthy, I would say they can contend with the Nets. But no Oladipo, that's hard. It's hard because Oladipo's a great scorer that will relieve pressure off of Jimmy.
It's what y'all was missing.
Yes.
That was missing. Yeah.
Not having him there, it's almost like you're back to square one again. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see.
Another team I'll never count out, Jimmy Butler and them boys. Eric Spoelstra, another coach who doesn't get his flowers.
Get the credit. Yes.
Doesn't get his credit, man. He's a great coach. Yep. Always his teams are always in it, even when they're supposed to tank. He don't know how to do it. That's a sign of a great coach. I love Bam. I watched the game the other night. The ball was fumbling all over the place. Bam looking for somebody to pass to, and he hits like this step back mid-range pull up at the buzzer. I'm like, come on, dog. Like, you nice. We know you nice, man. I just love Bam's game. Jimmy's Jimmy. He's gonna prove it to you every night, and he has a stamp on the game without scoring, which is great. Hopefully, Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero show up and get their rhythm together. Let's see. Look, Miami could be a dark horse. Last year nobody was thinking about Miami, and all of a sudden they figured it out, and they was just in everybody. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics, greatly disappointing this year. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna start off a little bit with that.
Go
really
ahead.
disappointing this year. Kemba is healthy, so they can make a little run. You know, to step back all through them years, and they're messing up them knees. You know, being a little guy, you need those knees to explode up on those jump shots. You know, you make those great moves, but if you have no balance and stability, the shots are going to come up short. You're going to be off a little bit off balance. Jason Tatum is balling. He just figured it out. Hopefully, he has the same effect on defense as he does on the offensive end. What's going to kill them right now, JB is out, man. He tore ligament in his wrist, man. I love JB's game. Simple, basic. He give you 25 and 8 and 9. He plays D, but then him being out is really, really going to hurt them. Brad Stevens, I know is going to another good coach. You know, he's going to find a way to figure it out. But at the end of the day, you know, it's going to be tough sledding, especially coming from the 7th seed.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I think for me, actually, I was actually a little disappointed in their offseason. I think, yeah, you added Tristan Thompson, but I'm not sure that's what they needed in their team. It's like you lost to Miami, and yeah, Bam kind of took over the game the last 2 games, but that's not why they lost. I just think they had no dogs.
Yeah,
you know,
go back to that.
You had no dogs,
Yeah.
and now the one person you have that's close to a dog, he hurt. He's done for the season.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel for Brad Stevens. I feel for that team. I think Jason Tatum, he's got one more year with Boston Celtics. And if they don't make that big jump, don't be surprised he starts to test that free agency water.
Oh, you heard it here first. So if it happens, you heard it first. I heard it here first.
Because there's only so much you could be like, all right, like we're not going nowhere. We had an opportunity over in the bubble.
Yeah.
Now JB's hurt, you know, so and your potential first round matchups against the Brooklyn Nets.
Ooh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Or Philly, depending on if
Philly.
they win their first game or not.
Right.
So we'll see.
Next up, we have the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, my man LaMelo Ball is back. I only say he's my man because I had him on my fantasy team. And then when he left, my fantasy team took a little dip, hurt my feelings a little bit, but it's all good. They got a solid team. They run it through. I was one of those people. I was like, LaMelo Ball, I don't know. I was one of those people. And then I really started kind of watching this game instead of listening to everyone else, which I should have. That's my bad. And I was like, wait a minute, he's 6'8", and he liked to pass the rock. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot. If I have a point guard who loves to pass the rock, that means that everything's going to run fluid. They're going to make sure everything's good, you know? And then he got the boy, Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges is like, oh, okay. So if I run, I'm getting the rock.
You going to throw me the ball? Okay.
If I run, you going to throw me the rock? Oh, I'm just going to run. So they got great chemistry on the floor. I think, you know, they're playing pretty solid. They have almost like a college team type vibe with them. You know, they're always happy. Terry Rozier is a dog. I say it. Terry Rozier is a dog. He don't care. He hooping. Maybe I don't expect him to go very far this year, but I guess the future looks very, very bright for them. They move around a couple of pieces and things like that.
I mean, I think LaMelo, for all intents and purposes, right now is probably the steal of the draft. I think everyone is looking back and going to say, you know, I think Anthony Edwards, he's good, but LaMelo's different.
Yeah,
he's different. And I think when you look at the Warriors, they might be scratching their head like, maybe we should have got LaMelo instead of getting Weissman. Because LaMelo, I tell you what, whoever they play in that first round, it's not going to be easy. I think they're going to put on a show, and they're not going to win the series because either going to be Brooklyn or Philly, but they're not going to get swept. I don't see them getting swept. And I think if LaMelo didn't get hurt, he's rookie of the year.
Oh yeah, easily rookie of the year.
The fact that he got hurt and missed some games, it gave Anthony Edwards some time to catch up and put a stamp on it, I think. So we'll see though.
All right, next up is I got them as my dark horse, the Washington Wizards. Okay, Washington Wizards. First of all, before we get into that, okay,
give the men respect.
I am tired of the Russell Westbrook slander. I don't care what level you're at. The man averaged a triple-double. Any team he's been on has gone to the playoffs. So what? He can't shoot. There's a lot of people in the league that can't shoot, but he does so many other things that it offsets the shooting. Okay, yes, down the stretch, he makes bad decisions sometimes, and it's tough. He turns the ball over. But guess what? I know what I'm going to get out of Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
And if I'm getting that from Russell Westbrook every night, I'll take my chances.
Correct.
Okay. So let's all give this man his flowers. You can agree, disagree, whatever, but we all got to agree this man is special. Between him and then Bradley Beal, getting it in with those two. And that's a lot of, man, that's a lot of buckets. That's a lot of running, and also, sorry, shout out to Bradley Beal for that inspiring speech to his AAU.
Oh man,
I know I'm going off track.
That's good. I feel like every AAU program, men or women, should hear that.
Yes. When I heard that, he was like, "Yo, there's only 400." When he said that, I felt it. They say, "You gotta guard me, and none of y'all can guard me." And I'm like, "This, you right? You telling yo, yeah? Tell him,
Yep.
They gotta guard you." So the Wizards are number 9. I picked them as my dark horse. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. A lot of buckets between them. It looked like they're starting to gel together at the right time, figuring it out. And listen, Russell Westbrook's not gonna go down without a fight. So he's a fighter. He's a dog. He's gonna get it in. Right or wrong, indifferent. Is Rui Hachimura. He got him playing a little bit. I was sad to see the European kid Ajiva. I mispronounced his name. I'm sorry to see him go down because he started the ball a little bit. But guess what, man? Westbrook and Beal got them rocking. One of the dangerous duo in the league. You're
right. I mean, in that one game series playing format, I got to go Washington too, because you got two players who have experience in the playoffs, opposed to playing, Charlotte, who has no experience. They're just playing based off youth, which could be to their advantage in a game that goes the distance. But if you're talking about making a big shot, key moments, not turn the ball over, I'm gonna take Washington on a slight edge, but I got Washington coming out of that one.
It's the Pacers. They got a good team. I like Brogdon. TJ Warren's a bucket. Sabonis is a bucket. Karis LeVert, I love him. He's a Brooklyn Net still. He's a bucket, but that's all I can say. Like I really don't. They're a good team. And then
Washington should definitely should make it out of that one.
All right, y'all. Now we're on to the West. Right now, the number 1 seed is the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz, number 1 seed. Donovan Mitchell and the boys hooping right now. Mike Conley, the boy Bogdanović just dropped 48 the other night. Jordan Clarkson looks like he's going to be the 6th man of the year. Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year. Still doing this thing as always. Snyder, another guy from Long Island. Shout out. But is it enough? They got to show it in the playoffs, man. I believe in them. I believe in Donovan. I believe they want to. They got the heart. I don't know. Something's missing after that team, man. Something's missing.
You already know. A dog. I'm telling you.
I consider Donovan Mitchell a dog. Donovan Mitchell's a dog, bro.
But I'm saying yes, he's a dog. But when I say a dog, I mean somebody who's just junkyard. They're not gonna give you points, but they're gonna do everything else for you. Go get a rebound, defend the best player, frustrate the other player, make their team get a technical. A Rajon Rondo type. They don't have that on their team. I think they got enough talent. They can score. Can they make it over that hump?
Right.
Is Donovan Mitchell gonna be enough to get over the hump? I think they got that one superstar, but as we've seen the last few years, you need two to win the chip.
Right. Facts.
I don't know if they got two.
I don't know if they got two. So we'll see what happens. Once again, great regular season for them. Doing what they need to do. Let's see what happens during the playoffs. Number 2 seed. Phoenix Suns, bro. Phoenix Suns. CP3 50 years old, still killing them. Okay. All right, hold on. He might see this. No disrespect. You like 35. My bad. Because he get mad. Because last time I talked junk to him in my head, he started killing the Knicks in the last 3 minutes. I was talking junk. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks players talking junk, and then he got mad and just dropped like 10 points in 2 minutes. I don't know. He's so crazy. But definitely my MVP. We'll talk about that later a little bit, but definitely my MVP race. Anywhere he's gone, he's won. Another guy who doesn't really get enough credit. He's always you always hear about how cantankerous and he's a bulldog and stuff. But guess what? Devin Booker loves it. Deontay Ayton loves it. He got Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges out there working. You know what I'm saying? Man. So those guys are balling and they're listening and they're hungry. And I think Devin Booker had enough of that losing. He's just absorbing anything CP3 say to him. they're all absorbing it. And then look, that's why they're winning. And then when CP3 need to give him a bucket, he just gives him a bucket. Gives him a bucket. Okay, they are dogs and they are wolves. He's a wolf.
Yes.
He's
a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
He is a wolf. I like Phoenix Suns. I think they got a great nucleus. I think adding CP3 this year. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, damn, CP3 to Phoenix. I was like, damn, he just got traded from one team to another. I was like, how's it gonna fit? But it worked. I mean, and it worked great. I mean, from a team that went to the bubble, that started making their move in the bubble last year, and then you add CP3 to the mix of that, I think it works. I think the only thing that's going to be interesting for them is who that first round matchup is going to be.
Yeah.
That, I mean, but they can still jump to number one, technically.
Technically, yeah.
With 2 games left. So it's just going to be interesting to see who they play first round. And that is going to be what decides their fate.
Yeah,
so
I totally agree. Totally agree. All right. Next up, we got the Clippers.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I almost feel like last year was their shot.
Yeah.
And then you blew it. You up 3-1 against Denver and you blew it. I don't know. I think Rondo is a great addition to help them get over that hump. I don't know. We got to see. Is this? They don't look hungry, and that's what's concerning to me going into the playoffs. They don't look hungry. You played against the Knicks, and they just look lethargic. Like they weren't into the game. Like, and I give all the credit to the Knicks in that game because the Knicks took it out of them.
Right.
But they don't. A team that's supposed to be, I get Paul George to get with Kawhi Leonard, who just won a chip in Toronto, to go and to compete against the Lakers in the West. I don't see the fire and the desire in this team yet. I don't see it. And if they don't have it, I don't know.
I think the best thing they did was sign Rondo. I call Rondo the anti-Chris Paul because he's the only one I think is smart enough to handle him at that position. And it's like playing chess. I equate it to like Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty going at it. The rest of them, man, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna show up. They're a good team. If you tell me, the roster, I'm like, oh, they're a good team. But I don't know. It's chance. See, I can't even because
that's what I'm saying. Like
I'm expecting them to like championship, and I don't feel like champion. I don't feel champions on there like that. You know what I'm saying? It could be the temperament. It could be Paul George games is real smooth, and he's a bucket. Kawhi is gonna give it to you. Rondo, he's a leader on the floor. But 4th seed, we got Denver. Man, listen, I had Denver with Jamal Murray after they got Aaron Gordon. I was like, man, that's scary. Michael Porter Jr., Nick
was playing.
They was balling. I said, that is scary for a long time. And then when your knee is bothering you, man, sit out. I get wanting to play. I get all of that other stuff, positioning and stuff, man. When your knee is bothering you, play. And see, what people don't know is that before he had that major knee injury, he had knee soreness, knee tightness, all those other things, as athletes that we're told to play through.
And you ignore your body.
You ignore your body. But sometimes you got to listen to your body. If your body tells you chill out for 2 days, chill out for 3 days. Because guess what? Chilling out for those 3 days, then you're good for the rest. But you ain't chill out, and then his knee was like, nah, we're not jumping today. That's it.
And side note to that, I think sometimes wrongfully so, LeBron gets a lot of criticized for sitting out for stuff like his ankle injury. But you know what? There's a reason why his longevity is as long as it is right now, because he listens to his body.
Right. Facts.
So if people want to understand the game, look at the guy like LeBron James. Look at the guy like, even Kobe before he got that Achilles injury. They listen to their body. Right. And I think this is what's happened to these young guys. They don't listen to their body and they still keep going hard. And then you get an unfortunate injury like this one.
Right. How funny is that? Right. We want them to listen to their body, and then sometimes they get killed for load management, because you can never win. But at the end of the day, your body is what helped you get that $50 million contract. So ain't nobody else tell you but your body. So if your body told you to sit down so you can get another $50 million contract, guess what?
You need to sit down.
You need to go put your feet up somewhere. All right, but anyway, let's chop it up about the actual roster with those guys. What do you think?
I think they're still gonna be a tough out. I think they have enough juice around them to make it past that first round matchup. But it's gonna be, do they have enough scoring for them to move on past that? If they had Jamal Murray, who knows? But
exactly,
Djokovic, he's tough.
He's tough.
He is tough.
He's the nicest, slowest dude I ever seen in my life. Man, slow, killing.
But it's just, are they gonna have enough to move beyond the first round if they get past the first round?
Oh wow! Next up, we got the Dallas Mavericks. And
exactly.
All that craziness is going on. They still wind up in the 5th seed. So what do you think about the Dallas Mavericks?
Again, I think they're gonna be a tough out. I think kudos goes to their coach, Rick Carlisle.
Another guy to me who
does not get enough credit. I mean, he took over a team that they ended up winning the finals a few years back. Then they weren't so great, and then they stuck with him, which I think is key. And kudos to Mark Cuban, because in this day and age, you have 1-2 bad seasons, you out. I think they're gonna be a tough out. I mean, they got a hell of a team. They can score, and they got Luka. That's gonna be another great matchup. I think that might go 6 or 7. It's gonna go to see what happens.
As long as Luka don't get thrown out, we good. Because he got
stop hitting people in the groin. Stop. These
got
technicals.
He got thrown out. Technicals, got to keep his motions under control, because if he's under control, you look, that's 40, 15, and 10 walking around, and he's just as slow as Jokic, killing. Crazy, But hey, shout out to IQ, strength, and confidence. He believes in this game. Nobody's gonna make him play at his pace but him. This is how I'm playing, and that's it. The Portland Trailblazers. Terry Stotts on the hot seat. Okay, you got my man Melo killing, still doing his thing. I'm glad. Another one who needs to get his roses while he's still here. I'm glad CJ's healthy. His feet are together. Dame and CJ in the backcourt, one of the most deadliest backcourts in the league. And Dame just shooting from everywhere. Disrespectful Dame. Disrespectful Dame. He shoot from everywhere. It's crazy. Another team that is just waiting for them to get over the hump. Like, they'll always have pieces, then injuries hit. They're not healthy at the same time. Big Nurk is back, man. I'm just anxious. I want to see how well the Portland Trailblazers do with a healthy team. That's all I want. I just want to see their best shot.
And you might get that in these playoffs. And I say this, last year, if I'm calling the bubble, wasn't PG-13 talking trash to Dame?
I don't know why. Why would he
before
still
they get playoffs, right? And
now
you got that. Now you got them in the first round of the playoffs now.
Mm-hmm. And he remembers all of that.
And don't think Dame don't remember that.
All of that.
It's an intriguing matchup because, as we mentioned before about the Clippers, they don't look hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a team here who's got some veterans, who got some scorers, some old school cats who can score. It makes it for an intriguing matchup.
Yeah.
I think if the Clippers don't wake up,
they can
be bye in the fight. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that's an intriguing. It's a 3-6 matchup, but that's more like a 4-5 matchup.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see, man. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Next up, the Lakers. Hopefully LeBron's healthy. Listen, I was telling my man the other day, the Lakers scare me because healthy. I want everybody to listen to this lineup. If they are healthy, you can go LeBron at the 1, KCP at the 2, Kuz at the 3, AD at the 4, and Drummond at the 5. I don't care how fast you are. That's a big lineup. Okay, but which LeBron are you gonna get? AD hit his leg. He got back spasms. And they haven't been able to play together yet. But the guys who have been there have maintained their little playoff position right now. But I'm interested. That's another team. If they're healthy, LeBron comes back. If LeBron comes back, I say Western Conference Finals. But no LeBron, first round exit. And based on this matchup I'm looking at, they may not even get out of the the play-in game.
The play-in game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when I introduce the other team. What's your take on the Lakers?
Yeah, you hit it right on the nail. I mean, a healthy LeBron, it don't matter. It don't matter. I think one thing we've learned the past few years, going back to our generation of watching MJ, you can never count them out. Never. You couldn't count Jordan out. You couldn't count Kobe out. And you're not going to count LeBron out. I think even if LeBron has a 75% ankle, you can't count them out because he's just that dude that's going to give you everything, no matter what. He's going to make everybody else on the team better. But it's still going to come down to health. Does he tweak it and hurt it more seriously in the playoffs where he can't come back? Does AD tweak his calf / Achilles or back spasms in the playoffs?
Right.
Because that one of those out, I don't care how good LeBron is or how good AD is, it ain't gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. I don't see a problem, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Which leads to the matchup. Okay, right now they're playing. The Golden State Warriors in the playing game. I felt that this year that Steph Curry would get exposed, and not the extent like, look, clickbait. He said it could Steph Curry. No, in the sense that he doesn't have Clay. Having another shooter to spread the floor is everything. So now it's just you or I'm loading up everybody on your side. You coming off ball handoff screens. Two people's gonna be in your face. So you're gonna get your numbers, but you're gonna work for it. So I have to apologize to this man. So he just said, all right, y'all gonna double team me? I'll shoot it from half court. I watched the game where they double teamed him. He sped dribble up to half court. They double teamed him. And as soon as he took a dead dribble, they backed off and he shot it from half court and it went in. It's unreal. Yesterday he shot the game winner. It was laughing. This is disrespectful. Okay. They talk about pop the trunk when somebody dunk on you. They might have to pop the trunk on that man. Okay. Figure of speech, of course. But Steph Curry's been unreal. He's shown you why he's a 2-time MVP, NBA champion. Okay. One of the best 3-point shooters we've ever seen. He's just proven it over and over again. He's 33 years old and he still had to prove himself and he did it. So shout out to Steph Curry. My bad. Much respect. I'll be quiet. When I use in the video game, you better shoot them half court threes the same way. They better go in. And Draymond and another guy who doesn't get enough credit, Draymond Green, somebody who we'd love to have on our teams because he's another coach on the floor. I just need somebody who's going to make the right decisions, and Draymond Green is going to make the right decisions. Okay, his effect. You have 6 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists. Okay, 5 steals. Your effect is on the game. Okay, you making everybody run. He's going over talking to the rookies, helping them out. So shout out to Draymond.
Dog.
He's a dog. Thank you. He's a dog. Shout out to Draymond. He gets his flowers too. So what is your take on Golden State?
I mean, this is going to be a great matchup because it's going to be the stars of the stars. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's LeBron versus Curry. Is Curry going to go off and propel them to the win, or is LeBron going to shut him down and they move on to the next round? It's one game. I think that's what I love about this. People are complaining about it right now. I love it. It's a one game, winner takes it. And I don't see them having enough because I don't think Steph Curry's supporting cast will be able to lift the team. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see a Wiggins dropping 30. I don't see
what's up. I ain't say his name.
Kelly Oubre. I don't see him dropping 30.
You mean Naruto?
So that's gonna be the issue right there. If they do, then the Lakers are in for a tough game. But I don't see that happening. Curry gonna do Curry.
Curry gonna do Curry. Look,
I just don't know about
for his sake, I hope one of them show up, Wiggins or Oubre. But I don't know. They don't feel reliable. They play hard at times. I'm still waiting for the real Wiggins to show up. Number 1, 2 draft pick, whatever he was. But hey,
he's still in Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that. Okay. All right. Next up, we got the Grizzlies at the 9 seed. The Grizzlies right now. I love Jared Jackson. He's on his way back. Ja's another dog. Okay, he's a super dog. He's tough. If nobody knew who he was, if you didn't know who Ja was, go back and watch that first round game when he was in the NCAA tournament. when he was on Murray State. Watch that game when he was just controlling everybody. He was telling the other coach what to do. It was crazy. He was killing everybody. So shout out to them. Another young team full of players that play hard, play together, love playing with each other, and it shows. They may be able to sneak in based on their matchup right now, but I don't know. Let's see. What do you think? What do you think of Memphis?
I agree. They're a young team, still trying to figure it out, getting their feet wet. I think the matchup is probably in their favor. Talent-wise, coaching-wise, is probably not in their favor with going against Pop. But as we know, they don't play until the 18th. So this can shift 3 different ways in the next 3 days. Yeah. So, I mean, if it stays this way, I would pick them over San Antonio, but we'll see. I mean, Lakers could lose whenever their next game is, and then going to the 9 or going to the 10 seed. And the whole thing switched.
Everything shifted. Yeah, everything shifted.
So
that's why I think we just talk about the teams and not the matchups.
Yeah,
you never know. And then speaking of the matchups, Spurs is the 10th seed. They're reeling crazy. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Pop was like, is Pop waving a flag or he's just letting them figure it out until they get in the playoffs and then surprise, gotcha. I trust his coaching. They got a young squad. Dante Murray, Keldon Johnson, Lonnie Walker, DeMar. They got pieces, and I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched enough San Antonio basketball to know what I'm looking at. I just know it's Greg Popovich and his guys are going to play the right way at the end of the day. And then Becky Hammond on the bench too. Look, she know her stuff. So she know her stuff.
She might be the next San Antonio head coach.
I'm not saying might. I'm just saying when Pop stepped down. So we never know. Any feelings on Spurs, or you think you're at where I'm at?
I think I'm right where you are. They're young. I'd say the one advantage they have over Memphis is their coaching. In the tight game situation, Popovich, he's an NBA, he's a Hall of Famer, he's a champion. He's gonna push the right buttons. But do they have enough talent to beat Memphis? I don't know. But we'll see.
Next up, we got our MVP race. Who you got? Who you got, brother?
For me, I was going back and forth with this, but I got CP3. And the reason is you look at the team he went to, who, they made the bubble, but they were like the last team to get into the bubble. And he took over a young squad and he made them into a number 2 seed and potentially could be a number 1 seed in the West. It says a lot.
It says a lot.
He's turned he turned that team into contenders.
Yeah.
So that's my vote. CP3.
Yeah. So I had the same vote actually, just because he was that missing piece in Phoenix, and he got them to buy into him and believe in him and what he was doing. And everywhere CP3 is gone, there's another guy that they've won. I believe they're a hamstring away from beating Golden State that year when he was in Houston. Like I watched.
You're right.
I watched his hamstring pop when he was going on a layup against Quinn Cook. Like I watched it happen. I'm like, oh, there it is. Like I watched it happen. So I'm gonna be honest, Joker is probably still gonna win it just because he's been dominant all year. He's been holding it down.
Yeah, I agree.
But my personal MVP has got to be
CP3.
Gotta be CP3. Rookie of the year, who you got?
I'm gonna give it to Anthony Edwards because LaMelo got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. For me, that's it.
That's it, right? See, I've been watching, and I agree. And also, I've seen some things with Anthony Edwards, and shout out to Tom Crean. He always finds these types of players.
He finds those gems.
He finds those gems. If you're not familiar with Tom Crean, he coached D Wade at Marquette, coached Victor Oladipo up in Indiana. So, and he all had that kind of same mold, like that kind of doggish, kind of play multiple positions and then get after it, athletic, get after it guys. So shout out to Tom Crean. Yeah, man. You know what? I got the Ant-Man too. I'm watching him and I like he figured out his game. He's like, oh, this is what they've been telling me. Oh, okay, I got it. And he just took off. And I noticed that like since his interviews, now once a player becomes confident in interviews, that means they're confident within themselves and within their game. Yeah,
I agree.
And he's definitely figured it out. And if LaMelo hadn't gotten hurt, it would be LaMelo. But hey, The best ability is availability, my friend.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I think Ant-Man is definitely the rookie of the year.
Yeah. His worst thing right now is that he's in Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, Coach. Thanks for coming on. You know, I know you're all about your business. I know you're all about great work ethic. You know, and I say that I can say that personally because I worked with you for many years in the coaching field. You bring a level of professionalism that is unmatched, and you are one of the flyest coaches in North America. You feel me? I'm gonna say it. You know, but definitely very professional. Definitely about his business. Well prepared. So I noticed. You know, I just happened to notice that you had the shirt, do the work, and it so fits you, but do the work. What's that mean to you?
Well, coming on to this segment, I thought it was no better way to represent this shirt about doing the work, because going into the playoffs, it's about doing the work, going in and grinding and doing the work. And kudos to, you know, one of our former players who's a great young man who's doing amazing things down in Maryland, Azel Prather, because this is his foundation, do the work. So to me, it represents everything that we do, especially everything that we do as minorities, as Black men, as Black fathers. You know, we got to do the work, because there's just certain things for us that are just not given. And without doing the work, you're not gonna get what you want. You know, so to me, this was easy shirt for this segment, to be on here, to be on your podcast. I was like, this is the shirt. You know what I mean? I could have wore a Dan Marino jersey, but to me, it don't represent nothing.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you.
You know,
definitely, yeah. I feel you. Well, it's so funny, right? Because I saw a shirt. I'm like, yo, we're gonna talk about that shirt, and then you told me whose shirt it was, Azel. I say, oh, that's perfect. You know, such great work Azel is doing down in Maryland. I love him. 100,000%, 1,000,000%. I love the guy. He played for us. One of the best rebounders in the country. High work ethic guy. Nothing was ever given to him. Dog. He was a dog. But I say all of those things, and he is so much better person than every other thing that I've named. You know.
Yes. 10 times.
10 times the person and all the other stuff I made. So when I see him, he's one of those people that I see him successful and I'm not surprised, because he does the work. You know, that line right there represents him. You know, he and we would act like I gave him his lunch pail and his hard hat every day right before a game, because he does the work. So, and he still continues to do the work. Shout out to my man Azel down there.
And kudos to his parents as well, because they raised a wonderful young man. And he stayed true to his family. He stayed true to himself, and he never wavered from that. Never. He's been that same person since we met him, since day one. Yeah, it's been Azel.
Azel, A1. Oh, perfect. And I wore my shirt. I'm coming for my shirt, fam. You gonna see this? He got new ones. You know I wore my shirt. He got new ones. I wear XL, baby, XL. All right. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you to my man, Coach Isme. You can check him out on his Instagram, listed above. Any comments or questions you have for us, please hit us down in the box below. And thank you once again for joining us for the segment. I'm gonna hit you guys with a quote that my coach told me, Coach Dwinell. Shout out Coach Dwinell. Hit me with this quote, and I never really knew what it meant until I was an adult. But he used to say to me, "Don't say hello when it's time to say goodbye." Yo,
that's deep.
That's deep, man. That's deep. So once again, thank y'all. Thanks, Rob, and I'll holler at y'all
later. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.